Happy Monday again. Another week passed by, and I wanted to create this particular one for a long time. I'm so glad we're able to talk about the nurture sequences, which is one of my I'm very passionate about emails, email marketing, because that's truly where the magic happens. And just as a side note, Facebook changed the rules last week, and all of a sudden, I may not be able to do like a directly live, or at least all at once. So I will be posting my lives on Instagram, YouTube, and my profile, and then I'll share it in the group. So this is probably what you're going to be watching in the group, but also for my Instagram followers. And then I'm also going to be more active on YouTube. So I just wanted to make sure this is a topic that you can watch wherever you're comfortable with, because this is something everyone needs. So one of the most important campaigns that you do for your business, and I know most of you do, is the we all talk about lead magnets. We tell people, okay, let's do the lead magnet, find out who your client is, and then you get excited, you do your lead magnet, do a form, collect all of those leads, and then you even start a welcome email sequence. You deliver the valuable lead magnet you created, and then you hear crickets. Nothing happens. And this happens all the time. So at that point, most people get discouraged. They give up. They think they've gotten all these leads. They just don't know what to do with, depending on where you are in your journey. Maybe you just started collecting leads, hopefully, before you actually built your product, which I always recommend. Collecting emails from the right people, like start yesterday. Don't wait until you have done all your product, course, membership, whatever you're doing that's already like completed. So one of the most important thing is you collect all of those, but you really need to know what to do after. Otherwise, especially when you don't have an offer yet, and then you do the lead magnet, you do the whole thing, and then after that, there is a period between that delivery to the actual time you're actually launching a product to sell. And this may be right before your launch, and maybe there's not that much time. In that case, you still need some sort of a bridge in between. You can't just say, hi, here's something valuable, and then here, buy my product. In some cases, maybe it's something they needed right now, and then they'll just get it. That's wonderful. But most of the time, as we've talked about it before, people do need to see your content more than 8 times. And they need to, unless you already have nurtured them, unless they already know, like, and trust you. So for that purpose, the nurture sequences are that they can, like, it's very confusing to maybe some. And so I wanted to clarify what they are, why do you need it, and what are some types of topics that you can create these sequences with, and hopefully without killing your daily grind. So I'm going to try to make those two things at least today. And then this is not a topic that can be done in a day. And I would love to hear your thoughts. Send me a comment, send me a DM. If there's anything specific that you want to know, I am happy to actually elaborate on that particular like topic if you wanted to do that. So, okay, so nurture sequences are going to be, there are several paths you can take, so to speak, depending on your product. And this goes for even if you have like a physical product, the same thing goes. And if you just open your inbox, you're going to find a bunch of them by like many, many brands. You probably are not aware that there's a strategy behind, or like it may seem like they're just bombarding you with emails. And especially nowadays, like we have our inboxes are full, but still like we keep the ones that we really like, and then like we want to hear from. So one of the types of nurture campaigns you can run, and this could be on a weekly basis, monthly basis, like a monthly newsletter, or it could be a daily email, which don't get crazy right now on me, but I do recommend do a daily email sequence. So before you freak out on that one, let me just go back to what type of nurture campaigns you can run first. So the first one that the data shows, the first one that really, really works, whatever your industry is, tips and tricks, things that like, tools of the trade, or things that maybe you've found a software that really works well for what you do or for your audience. So tips and tricks sequences work out really well because people always want to be in the know, and they like that someone else curated for them. So it has value in it. And then the second type of nurture campaign could be announcements. But this isn't necessarily saying, hey, I have this, I have that. This is all about actually like industry announcements. It could be maybe there is a related conference that's going, or maybe it's like anything that is like on a regular basis that people are used to hearing from you. So like announcements in that way. You can also run weekly notifications. If you have an audience that are maybe they're already following you, and you are maybe creating, I don't know, maybe like limited time sales that they're expecting, or be like even for I get these emails from a brand that I really love. They have these color drops, like different colors. They're only available for a limited time. So I get weekly notifications of like the limited stock, merchandise that they have. And I like knowing, because I get so busy. I want to know what's new, but I'm not going to necessarily go to their website, check what's new. So they send me a weekly notification, very simple, with a picture or a video, and then I check if it's something I like it or not. So these are all like types of, like, you can continue to that relationship with them. One other type that I would like to mention, that you can share your content in other channels. And this happens to us a lot. So I have this, let's just give it an example. So today I am doing this live, right? So I have content, I prepare myself, the time goes into it. The same thing goes for you. If you're writing a piece of blog on your website or somewhere else, or maybe you're running a blog site, then it's there. You put all that energy, you already did it. So what you do is you tell your audience in that weekly, or depending on the frequency of the content you're publishing in the other channels, you tell them, hey, I just wrote a blog about such and such. Go check it out. You just put a link in there. So when I say nurture sequence emails, like, you don't have to go all like big stories, or like it doesn't have to be long. It could be very simple, couple of sentences, just to say, hey, well, maybe you're not there. Because otherwise, if you think about it, otherwise they may not always go to your blog site and check what you have. And this is crucial for your traffic, for SEO, all of those things anyways, but also who follows you, like nowadays, especially if you exist in multiple platforms. Nowadays, some people only look at their Instagram. some people only are on, I don't know, TikTok. I don't know, maybe that's not the case anymore. But so maybe some people are just only like maybe checking your website once in a while to see what's happening. But you have to give them a reason. Like, don't assume just because, let's say you have a Facebook group, that like I have a lot more people than what I have in the group. If I only do it in the group, or if I only do it on Instagram and I don't tell anyone about it, then they won't be able to find out. Maybe they'll miss a crucial information that I shared that would actually better their business. So for you, whatever it is that you're helping people with, you want to tell them, hey, I just posted this thing on Instagram. I just did a poll here. Just, go to this link. What do you think? Like, ask their opinion, share, like, if it's a valuable piece of content or anything that would help them, not necessarily you, but anything that of value, share it with them. This is where the nurture sequences become a little bit, to me, it's easier because you don't have to really create content, so to speak. You just have to document and share what you're already doing. One of the campaigns we did back in the day, it was a behind the scenes series. People are curious. They want to know. Like, we had this whole one of my clients, they were getting ready. They had a physical product with a digital product with a subscription box that we created together. So what happened was they had all these boxes, they're packing, they have all these people. It's crazy. Printing is like printing labels. So we did a video of that mess, and then we just put a background music. And then we sent an email telling them, well, we're packing them now. Like, if you want them, they're going to be available only for 10 days. People love that stuff. Like, people want to know ahead of time. And that creates FOMO, that creates excitement, and it actually makes them aware of what you do. So it doesn't always have to be super curated, a studio, like, get messy if you can. This is why the videos and shorts and that kind of content work a lot better because it's short, sweet, and it keeps people in the whole topic that you talk about, so that they know what you're doing. So that brings me, so these are types of nurture campaigns you can do. By the way, if anyone is interested in getting these on a written document, just comment and send me a DM. We have all these things already written, and at the end of this live, I'm going to tell you a good resource that we're creating. So I'd like to know your opinion. If you could let me know if that's something useful for you. So before I create it. So going back to why do you need to do it again? So number one thing is it does position you and your brand for the topic that you have. It does position you as the guide. Like, they will, and obviously as an expert, but mostly, this is my opinion, this is mostly because you're not the hero, like, how we talk about like story brand and like hero and the guide. Like, you don't talk about yourself. You're not trying to tell them what you do. This is not about you. But in the topic that you're helping them, whoever they hear from the most, when they need that particular service, who do you think they're going to go? They're going to go, oh, I remember, like, she was talking about that. Like, maybe this is someone who is helping, solopreneurs run Facebook ads, right? And she consistently is talking about Facebook ads, this, Facebook ads, that. And she shares tips, tricks, she announces, she says, here, I did a video, I did a live. And when you need to run Facebook ads, who do you think you're going to go? So that's how nurture campaigns help you position yourself in the right place in front of your clients. And the second thing is, and this is to me, like, I mean, a lot more important than anything, but it also clarifies the confusion of the problem you solve. Which problem are you solving? What is it that you do? It's hard to um, talk about it. I mean, we all have one-liners and we tell people the elevator pitch and all that, but it all comes down to when you consistently show them how you help other people with the products you have, then it becomes clearer and they will remember what you do. In this sense, I strongly recommend in the nurture campaigns that we've talked about, like the campaigns that you do, I would always include case studies, testimonials, stories of what you do and how you helped others. That way they can identify their current situation and kind of connect with you just to see if that's something that maybe you can help them too. And a lot of people have like common problems. It's not like, you have one product and you're solving mostly one main problem. So if you could make that super clear and make sure they understand what you help with, that usually where it clicks. Like they're like, okay, so I can call her or him for this problem I have or when I have it. And then the third thing is by offering a lot of value, um, there is this, it's human psychology. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, I'm not saying trick people. That's not, some people take it that way. But it's just, this is human nature. Let's say you have two neighbors. One always asks you, well, I'm going to the grocery store. Would you like anything? Or like one that always says, well, you know what, if you're running out for an hour, I'm happy to, stay with your daughter. Like always helpful, always like, brings you cookies or whatever. I'm not saying always going above and beyond, but someone like who's really, really helpful. And this other neighbor says hi once in a while, maybe, and never really interacts with you. When you have a need, when you need something, who do you think you would trust more? And in the same sense, you want to be with your clients and tell them like all the time, here this, here that, like you're offering so much value when they need something, when let's say for that neighbor example, like wouldn't you want to just do something for them like a lot more voluntarily? So it's just that's how human nature is, and that's how things should work. Like you should do something almost like a good karma. So offering value is, and go all in. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about giving too much free value and all of that. I hear this all the time. How much of my content should I give? How much of the, you know, it took you years, I'm guessing years and months to learn the topic or the problem you solve. Do you think they're just gonna learn it from one time you telling them on an email? Just share it with them, and if they can do that, maybe it'll click for someone. That's wonderful. But they're still going to um, come back to you and ask you more questions. And then that will build a relationship. And that's what you need. No one in this whole world is an expert on everything. So I guess sooner we realize this, better our businesses will be in the same in the sense of entrepreneurship. You need to know you can't do everything. You can't really know everything, but like you know what you know, so share it all the way. It will come back to you. So offering value on top of clarifying the problem you solve and then positioning yourself as the guide, these three things are like super, super important. And the fourth thing is, maybe I'm not, maybe it's close to what I've been saying, but it's important to outline it as a fourth item. It's simply reminding them that you exist. You exist, you're there. A lot of companies closed nowadays, or for the last couple of years, right? So as you are sending them these weekly emails or daily emails, they know you're still in business and you're still solving the same problem. So when they do need you a year from now, and if they're still getting your emails, if they're still getting your solutions, they know that you're in business and you're actually doing better, because um, now you have an elevated position, from their perspective. So these are the reasons that you should be doing nurture campaigns. It's better if you do a daily email sequence, but at the beginning it's very hard. I get that. But at least weekly email sequences would be very helpful to do at the beginning. Or if you're running a monthly newsletter that is just enough for your particular audience, that's fine too. Whatever I say does not matter. You know your audience better than anyone. You should anyway. So and feel free to ask them, like, if I want to send you this and this and this, if I send this to you, this could be like a nurture email. Just say that, hey, I'm planning to curate this and this for you, and I would like to send an email every week to help you with this and this. And then just tell them what you're planning to do flat out, and maybe give them a link or a button to subscribe to that particular sequence. That way, that's a really good way of actually cleaning your email list, knowing who is in it. If they don't want to hear about those problems and solutions, maybe they shouldn't be in your email list anyways. So this could solve two problems all at once. You can get creative, however you want to do it. You can get creative with these. Again, you can also brainstorm. So the last thing, I wanted to do a small poll here. If you watch this live or the replay later on, I am building a ChatGPT that will have some prompts to help you outline a content for a year. What I mean is, it's going to help you create an annual content planner that you can divide it into quarters, weeks, and days. Since I'm recommending to do it on a daily basis, I am going to put instructions into that GPT, that I'm going to build it in a way that will help you create daily emails. But you can take that content and do whatever you want. I just wanted to ask, is this something you would want to have your hands on? If this is something that will be helpful, since ChatGPT is only as good as the prompts that you feed it to him. In our case, my ChatGPT's name is Harper. You already know that. So Harper knows a lot of things because I've been doing that. You should know, ChatGPT just announced, if you have not gone into that just yet, but they just announced, if you're using it, you know how it works, right? You do separate chats and topics on that left side. Now each chat will be aware of each other, so to speak. So the information you put in one chat can be transferred to the other one. This was a big problem because I had these different topics, and all of these different topics would have different instructions, and some of them are completely unrelated. So you get to control which topics to connect and which instructions which two chats to kind of like connect to each other. but this is super helpful. It will eliminate a lot of the duplication, and it will actually help the system to learn your instructions and your specific features. So when it comes to, let's say, for a nurture campaign series, like if we could, when you start feeding the actual data to it, it will learn a lot faster if you are able to create different chats for each, for example, for monthly, weekly, and daily emails. So it will really help how the system works. I'm very grateful that they've announced that big update. So I'm encouraging all of you to try that if you're already on ChatGPT. And definitely pay for the paid one. Please use the ChatGPT. If you're going to use it, use the professional version. It's only $20. It's probably the best $20 you can spend. But again, this all comes with a warning. Please, please do not use ChatGPT and take the content and put it as it is to anywhere. Google recognize anywhere you put. People recognize now there's certain types of words ChatGPT itself creates, no matter how good you train it. Again, I'm only offering this because it saves you a lot of research time, and it's almost like a very good assistant you can do a wonderful brainstorming with. So for the nurture sequences, if you ask me to, if you tell me that you like the idea, I'm going to continue building that, and I'm going to announce it when it's ready. Definitely say yes in the comments if you're on Instagram. If you're watching on this on Facebook, just comment yes, like whichever is, if it's from this particular live stream, I will know that's what you mean. And I'm excited about it because it will save you a lot of time, but I don't know. I don't want to create something if you don't want it. So I'm going to do it if you actually say that it will be useful for you. Thank you so much for today. I wish we could cover more, but I'm going to, in the following weeks, I'm going to try to do more examples of how we're going to do these. I'm planning to run like a live session, how to create like maybe like one sequence. And hopefully if you're around, I hope you see it or just watch the replay. I am so happy we get together every week here, and I hope this content is helpful for you. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.